executive director of this organization during this historic time. On this same weekend in 1970, the first Pride marches were held in San Francisco, New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles. For the past 45 years, a passionate and dedicated community has continued this tradition, and I am proud to be part of the team that is bringing this year's celebration and parade to life, especially when we have so much to celebrate. SF Pride is a free event that is open to everyone, and that makes it the largest gathering of LGBTQ community and their allies in the nation. Considering the momentous size and scope of our event, we have a relatively small staff, volunteer board, and contractors who pull this event off. Many of them are here today. I'm not going to have a chance to call all of you out by name, but I would like to recognize and thank you for all of the work that you do to put this event on. To quote our president, "Justice has arrived today like a thunderbolt." The rulings of the Supreme Court in the past 2 days emphasize the intention and the call to action of our theme this year, which is equality without exception. And while we have much to celebrate, and we should celebrate, and we will celebrate, we must also remain diligent until everyone, including the most marginalized among us, is treated with equal protection and respect, to ensure that the progress we have made is long-lasting and enduring. No one can afford to idly stand by until we have full equality for all, without exception, free from harassment and free from fear of harm. And now I'm finding that the microphone is here. Before we begin today's program, I would like to take a moment to thank Madame Tussauds and Hard Rock Cafe for this beautiful space. And for being such gracious hosts. They have worked with us for months to pull this event together, so thank you very much. I'd also like to thank our other sponsors who are supporting today's press event: Bud Light, Virgin America, Bank of the West, Smirnoff, Kaiser Permanente, Xfinity, Captain Morgan's White Rum, Whole Foods Market, and SFMTA. I'm not going to take up any more of your time, and I would like to introduce one of the hardest working members of our team and someone that I'm proud to stand with today and every day, and that is our dedicated board president, Gary Virginia.
Gary! Well, good morning. It's been quite a day already. I was laying in bed listening to the radio, and I've been doing that all week, listening for that Supreme Court announcement. And I almost thought I was dreaming when I heard them say it was a 5-4 vote, and I thought, which way, which way, which way? And then they said it, and I really just sat there almost in tears. And as I watched social media and television and listened to the radio, we're living history today. And I'm so honored on this busy time that all of you are here today from the media and our staff contractors, and especially our wonderful honorees here today. When you look at things like the Loving versus Virginia decision in 1967, which affirmed interracial marriage, you can see how rare it is that we reach a milestone in any civil rights movement to get a victory like we did today. And while the court was very divisive, and the dissenters took it upon themselves to each write their own dissent, it indicates that there's a lot of work for us to continue to do with this issue and larger issues. But what I'm moved by is I think America is maturing, that we would see the Confederate flag come down in the same week that we see this ruling comes down. And I think it's a wonderful time for us to embrace ourselves as human beings, not even so much as Americans, but human beings, because there's a lot of causes around the world where people, especially LGBT people, have it much worse than we do. So while we celebrate this weekend and recharge our batteries, I remind people to be vigilant and be registered to vote, because the only place we earn our rights, aside from living authentically and showing other people that we're loving, caring people, parents, sisters, brothers, colleagues, just like everyone else, is at the ballot box and in the courts. And this presidential election coming up in November is critical for us to keep a progressive equality-minded president in the White House. So on that note, I say let's celebrate this weekend. And I want to thank our honorees and show you a sample of what we have for them today. Each of you will get this beautiful trophy with your name engraved and the title of your honor. So please see Eddie Shapiro or Donna Sachet after the event to take that home with you. And State Senator Mark Leno could not be here. He's busy with media requests as well, but Anna Damiani is here from his office, and she brought beautiful certificates for each of you with your name and title and a little bit about your background as a keepsake for this historic weekend for you as the champions for our community. I want to thank our membership of Pride because they are the ones who choose our theme every year. And last September, they saw what was happening in state legislatures around the country where people were trying to deny us accommodations in housing, employment, and even in retail stores with the excuse of personal beliefs or my religious beliefs. And what we saw today is that what trumps that is the United States Constitution, and that's equality. So I want to thank our members for picking that theme because it is so relevant, especially today. They are also instrumental in choosing our grand marshals and our main stage speakers and the articles in Inside Pride magazine. And I want to say this is one of the most diverse and accomplished groups of people I've seen since 1987 when I moved here. You represent ages of decades. You combined have thousands of hours and years of dedication to the community. It ranges from Felicia Elizondo, who was at the 1966 Compton cafeteria riots in our Tenderloin district, who's also a veteran transgender person, as our Lifetime Achievement Grand Marshal, all the way to Rick Welts, the highest ranking sports executive in America, president and COO of the Warriors, the NBA champions. And everything in between. You'll hear a brief bit about each one of them, but we invite you to go to our website, sfpride.org, or pick up our magazine where you'll see more in-depth bios of all these wonderful people who represent the diversity of our community. A shout out to Bela Cipriani, our first ever blind Grand Marshal in 45 years of San Francisco Pride. And I invite all the media, please take the time. This is the moment where they're free at this event to ask them questions and get some great quotes. And also at the Pride Brunch tomorrow at the Hotel Whitcomb, they'll all have a chance to speak if they're able to join us for that event. Also, I want to thank Dustin Dorham and all the people at Hard Rock Cafe. Last year we started a merchandise program with them, and they took on all their responsibility and generated $11,000 towards Pride. And they have expanded their line of merchandise at Pier 39 and online. This is just one sample of the hats. There's t-shirts, tank tops, cinch bags, and beautiful commemorative pins. And I couldn't be proud of our partnership with Hard Rock, including our Pride float this year is magnificent. Leading the parade, you'll see Anthony Wayne as Sylvester performing behind a huge rainbow mirror ball with confetti cannons and bubbles, and our theme on both sides, equality without exception. So with no further ado, I'm sure I forgot something, so thank you all, enjoy the party, and have a safe, wonderful weekend.